Thank you for joining us for the news segment of Insight. You know, God gives us the command to take charge. Have you read this scripture of late? The one who breathed life into us has a desire for extraordinary, for us to take charge over our environment, over abortion, over just everything that God has created. God spoke, "Let us make human beings in our image, make them reflecting our nature, so they can be responsible for the fish in the sea, the birds in the air, the cattle, and yes, earth itself, and every animal that moves on the face of earth." God created human beings. He created them godlike, reflecting God's nature. He created them male and female. This is where we stand in the gap for the sanctity of marriage. He created them male and female. God blessed them. Prosper, reproduce, fill earth, take charge. Genesis 1, 26 and 28. Take charge over this news that is going on here in New Mexico and the abortions that are going on. You know, we woke up, a couple Sundays ago, the headlines in the Albuquerque Journal just made me ill. Late-term abortions in New Mexico. We've got that going on here, and we're waiting for word from the New Mexico Supreme Court and the New Mexico Medical Board on this issue. In that article in the Journal, it was the Super Bowl Sunday, my goodness. The doctor who has performed 10,000 abortions over the last 12 years is doing abortions right here in New Mexico. This doctor is performing late-term abortions in Albuquerque. According to the New Mexico Department of Health, there have been nearly 12,000 abortions in New Mexico over the last 3 years, and the final total for 2012 of murders is not in. How many of these babies were predestined by God to cure cancer, diabetes, be teachers, police officers, senators, presidents, mommy and daddies, farmers, store owners, and etc.? We must show the darkness the light of Jesus Christ. Now, what we're waiting for is from the New Mexico Medical Board. The New Mexico Medical Board is set to rule any time whether to discipline one of the New Mexico doctors that is openly performing late-term abortions. The case involves a New York mother who sought an abortion from Dr. Shelley Sella in Albuquerque after she found out her nearly 9-month-old fetus had severe brain damage. So we will see what the ruling there is, and we must pray over all these abortions going on in New Mexico, right here in our own state. Well, this week marks the 70th anniversary of one of the greatest heroic happenings in World War II. The sacrifice of 4 World War II chaplains, Lieutenant George L. Fox, Lieutenant Alexander D. Good, Lieutenant John P. Washington, and Lieutenant Clark V. Poling. The chaplains, a Methodist, Jewish, Catholic, and Dutch Reformed, respectively, were serving on the board of the ship, the Dorchester, in 1943 when the vessel began to sink off the coast of Greenland. They handed out life jackets and gave spiritual comfort to the soldiers. Witnesses of that terrible night remember hearing the 4 men offer prayers for the dying and encouragement for those who would live. When the life jackets ran out, the 4 chaplains gave their own vests and went down with the ship. In 1957, Congress established a National Day of Remembrance to honor their sacrifice. Let that sacrifice be a message to all this day. So how do you feel about the government setting the minimum wage for us? Now, Democratic legislators right here in New Mexico are pushing to raise the minimum wage to $8.50. That's well below Santa Fe's soon-to-be $10.51 living wage, but equal to the voter-approved Albuquerque minimum wage. It's going to make it tough on some small businesses, or many small businesses here in Albuquerque. Some Sandoval County residents right here in New Mexico are worried the government will take their guns and are threatening a civil war. Some residents say that the City of Vision has a battle going on with this gun control debate in Rio Rancho and Sandoval County. Many of the residents of the county are making their concerns known to the county sheriff, saying that if the government comes and takes their guns, they will rebel against the government. This is a hotly contested issue, of course, here in our country. Gun control, and House Democrats in Washington, D.C. are expected to announce proposals to curb gun violence this week. The measures, which include an assault weapons ban, are their first response to the Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting in Connecticut. The news comes just before President Joe Biden is to address the caucus on that issue of gun control. The post office, drowning in red ink, is not going to be doing Saturday mail delivery. They're going to be doing it 5 days a week, and of course you have the overnight package. They will still deliver on Saturday as the post office tries to recover from drowning in debt. Back here in New Mexico, concerns over student safety have prompted the University of New Mexico to hold campus safety sessions. The campus is under scrutiny because of groping that is going on, and they are actually helping students walk to their dorms because of these reported incidences happening on the University of New Mexico campus, which has been rated one of the most dangerous college campuses in the United States. Iranian state-run television broadcast new footage that allegedly shows the CIA drone they captured back in 2011. They're bragging to the world that they are capturing United States intelligence on how to build drones. And as we give you this newscast right now, the Senate has postponed a vote on former GOP Senator Chuck Hagel's nomination for Secretary of Defense. It's going to be interesting what happens in that process. Drone programs on the local level here in the United States are coming under fire as law enforcement officials use the unmanned aircraft as a tool to fight crime. Now there's a push in several cities to block the use of domestic drones. Residents are calling across the United States that they are an uncomfortable invasion of privacy. The governors of California and Texas are going at it. Governor Rick Perry is calling California businesses to move to Texas. That is the world we live in. God bless you and yours forever and ever.